Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network here on day 2 of the Democratic National Convention at the United Center in Chicago. And I've got Rick Wilson, co-founder of the Lincoln Project, with me today.
Hey, Ken.
Rick, how did you feel about last night? I hope you left with the same sense of optimism, albeit a little tired, that I did.
Well, look, I think last night was a bookend on what's going to be a big week. And that bookend last night was all about the transition of Joe Biden and frankly, the Clinton era closing and ending. And it was graceful. It was well done. It was a condemnation of Trump, an indictment of Trump. And look, I think the president went out on top. I really do. I look, for all that's happened around him, he is going to go down in history as one of our great presidents, one term or no. He's going to go down as one of our great presidents because the things he was facing and the things he accomplished in the headwinds of COVID and an attempted coup and an economic disaster, all caused by Donald Trump. I think it was a moment that we can all kind of treasure. It was a late night, but a damn good one.
It was a damn good night, and the contrast could not have been clearer, not just between the president and former President Trump, but between the two parties and what they represent.
Sure.
I think the best visual for me was a side-by-side of the RNC where everyone was holding up mass deportation signs. Right. And what did you see here?
American flags, Joe Biden signs, love in the room. And you know, and that's something that I think is remarkable. And the Republicans are scared to death of this, folks. I'm going to tell you, they are scared to death because at a Democratic convention and Democratic rallies, they're hearing people say USA, USA. And the flags at these rallies and this convention are American flags. They're not flags with Trump's face plastered on an American flag. They are... The Democrats are getting it that the Republicans don't own the flag. They don't own patriotism. They don't own love of country. In fact, they're the opposite of that these days. I mean, Donald Trump is out there shit-talking America, telling we're a third world country, we're a wreck, we're stupid, all these things. And President Biden got it last night. He says, Trump always says that we're a country of losers, but no, it's Trump who's the loser. And I think this convention set up for its first night a really brilliant frame that this is no longer the party the Republicans were used to whipping their ass. This is no longer the party that's going to play the soft game. They're going to go out and they're going to win this thing.
And I think the American people are ready for it. I mean, I talked to my parents,
sure,
and I talked to my kids, and I've been talking to people throughout this convention,
right,
and there is just people are sick and tired of the divisiveness,
right,
of the Republican appeal to everything that separates us.
Right.
And the joy in this room last night, I think, is the antidote.
Ken, the other thing that I've really noticed in talking to people all around this convention, here in Chicago for the convention, is a sense that they're not scared anymore. They're not scared of Trump. They're not scared of MAGA. They know those are two declining stocks. They know Trump is on the way down, that MAGA is on the way out. And look, Trump is right now doing about as well as Truth Social. Okay. Just today, before we recorded this, the Cook Political Report has now flipped North Carolina from lean Republican to toss-up. Well, you got Georgia and North Carolina now in the toss-up status. Donald Trump is on fire, but not in the way he wants to be. It's like a dumpster fire, So I think we set up last night, and a lot of folks who spoke last night, Jasmine Crockett, it was one of my favorites. I think she's so postmodern. She's so Gen Z. It's not even funny. And she knows how to go out and swing and hit. And Reverend Warnock, who's a little older, he's an Xer, but Reverend Warnock has this inspirational character to him that I think people last night in the room really appreciated.
Yeah.
And if you don't start tearing up a little bit when you see Tim Walz crying in the stands, you're not, Tim Walz last night reminded me of something. I don't know if I thought of this or somebody else did. I thought of it when I woke up this morning, and I may have heard it yesterday from somebody else. But Tim Walz is your dad or your uncle if he doesn't watch Fox.
That's right.
That's
right.
He's just such a good guy, and the love and the warmth, it's so different, from the RNC, which is like the Trump family members on stage are like there by contractual obligation, and everybody here is kind of having a great time.
Yeah, I'm a crier. My kids will tell you. I embarrass them all the time. What were the moments that had you like?
Well, I will say Warnock touches a lot of chords as a Southerner who's seen a lot of that slow bending of the arc and the bad guys trying to bend it backwards. And look, Joe Biden talking about Bo and the pits, because Let's remember, folks, Donald Trump, who says he loves our veterans, insults them all the time and refused to do anything about the burn pits.
Yeah.
Refused. And it took Joe Biden to do that. And I had a moment there. But, you know, we will come out of this at the end of the year, and Joe Biden will be president until January. He says he's going to take the last 5 months and do a good job. We know he will.
Yeah.
We've seen it, what he can do. He came in the worst possible economic situation, a depression caused by Trump, a pandemic worsened by Trump, an insurrection directed by Trump, and everything that almost broke our country, Joe Biden fixed in 3 years. God bless him.
I'm glad you made the observation that Dems aren't afraid anymore. Mary Trump, the former president's niece, just tweeted out Dems in array after seeing last night. But you know who is afraid?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
He's up in Michigan today, and even Fox cut away from Trump because he gets out in this insane press conference, and even Fox News is like, oh, that's too crazy for us. Yeah. That is a sign that this guy has lost control of his media outlets. He's lost control of himself. He's lost control of his campaign. And look, our job at Lincoln is going to be to torture Donald Trump. What do we always do? The stuff nobody knows about. We persuade these former Republican voters to cross over and vote for Joe Biden. We did it in 20. We did it in 22 for a lot of Democratic candidates. We're going to do it again this year. We're going to move a lot of these Republican voters. And guys, it's getting easier right now. It's like what used to take X amount of resources to persuade somebody now is like a third of what it did. So we're really excited about that. The second thing we're going to keep doing is the big narrative ads that talk about what's at stake, that show the whole country what's at stake. And then the smallest amount of stuff we do, but the most fun and what people know us for, is going out and just racking Trump's brain, just going out and messing him up, breaking his campaign. Look, we ran ads for weeks and weeks and weeks in Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster telling Trump that Susie Wiles and Chris LaSavita were doing a bad job. So what did he do? He brought in Corey Lewandowski to be their boss. I mean, I couldn't have scripted it better myself. Oh wait, we did. But you know, we're gonna make Trump's life a living hell. We're gonna make him miserable every day. We're gonna keep punching all of his psychological buttons. He can try to sue us all he wants. It's not gonna work.
But he has threatened to sue you. Should we be worried about you, Rick?
You know, I think I'm going to be okay on this one. Donald Trump knows that if he sues us, he goes into discovery with us. Yeah. And unlike most people that would be threatened by that, we'll just start putting everything out. We'll just do everything simultaneous to the discovery. He will not sue us. It's the third time he's threatened to sue us. He sent Bill Barr after us, and even Bill Barr said, nah. So, you know, he can threaten all he wants, but this is a sign of a guy who's really weak and really broken. Yeah. And we're having an impact on his campaign and on Trump that is going to make it easier for Vice President Harris to become President Harris. And we're really proud of the work we're doing.
Well, keep it up, Rick. We're going to have to wrap here because it's about to get loud.
I know, right?
It's about to start hopping.
I think it's a major entertainment figure.
Great having you on,
Ken, as always, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.